Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of This Week in Comics. My name is Yul and I own Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. And every week we run down comics I'm looking forward to. So let's get into it. This week we're going to be talking about Tick number 2, Phoenix, The Resurrection of Jean Grey number 1, Hawkman Found number 1, and Doomsday Clock number 2. 2017 brought us a brand new Tick number 1, and 2 months later we finally are getting Tick number 2, drawn by a new person, Dwayne Redhead, and still written by Cullen Bunn, who wrote a very, very funny first Tick issue. So I recommend this book based on the first issue. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of continuation too much. Pick this one up because I'm really enjoying it. Or I really enjoyed it. Next up we have Phoenix, The Resurrection of Jean Grey number 1. It's going to be written by Matthew Rosenberg with art, for this issue at least, Lionel Francis Yu. And Jean Grey is, I guess, coming back from the dead. She died at the end of the Grant Morrison new X-Men run and hasn't been seen from since. So how are they going to do it? That's really the question, because if they do a nice job of it, people will be happy, and if they don't, yes. Anyhow, I recommend this book because I like the X-Men, and who doesn't want an old Jean Grey as opposed to a time-displaced young Jean Grey? So, bring me back a 30-something superhero. Hawkman Found number 1 is a Dark Knight metal tie-in, which that alone should be worth the price of admission. At the beginning of the beginning of the metal series, there are pages of Carter Halls that we get to read. And nobody knows where Hawkman's been for some time. So, enter Hawkman Found. It's also going to be written by Jeff Lemire, who, if you've seen any of my episodes, you probably know I am a fan of. And it's also drawn by Brian Hitch, who is a very good illustrator. So, this is a one-shot. You should pick it up. Metal, blah, blah, blah. Pick it up. And lastly, we have Doomsday Clock number 2. I don't really want to tell you too much about what's been going on in the previous issue. Suffice to say, there's a new Rorschach, and he's getting together some people from a prison, and at the very end of the story, Superman has like 3 or 4 pages. So it's all tying in. It's the first, this is the second issue of 12, so there's going to be a lot more to go. And you can't really know everything that's going on right now, but this is DC's spectacle that's going to go on all of next year. And just like Hawkman Found, this is all but guaranteed to sell out. Pick it up. We're going to have second prints of number 1 come out, and you'll want to get that if you haven't also. So, Doomsday Clock number 2. As always, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into another episode. This is number 21. Also, visit your local comic shop, especially if you're buying any of these books, and let them know if you've seen this video and if that made a difference. Also, let us know in the comments down below what you like, how you felt about them, and you can also hit the notification, subscribe, like the video, all that stuff, and we'll see you next week.